Hey there, y'all. Welcome back to the Village Hidden Discreets. We are the Black Flames. I am Dr. Griffs.
My name is Bam, and welcome back to the channel for another video. So,
all right. How you doing, man? I like the Pichu, Raichu, Pikachu.
my boy Pikachu.
It's not
Lucario? Right? Yeah. Nah, it's like, I actually had this, it's not even a costume, it's more like I bought, so like there was this Halloween party that happened before times, before when people couldn't hang out, there's this Halloween, yes, what do you say, the BC? Before COVID. in the BC times, there's this Halloween party that one of my older boss invited me to, and like it was like mad spontaneous, so I was like, yo, I need to find a costume fast, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I went into this costume place, and I was like, all the good costumes were taken, like everything was taken. Like I had to like mix and match something in order to like do something, right? And I was like, oh, I see a Pikachu hat, and then I see a Pikachu tail, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I just wore all black, put Pikachu hat on and the tail, and that was it. That was the costume. You know what I mean? It was weird when people were like, "Yo, could you talk like Pikachu?" And I was like, "Alright, that's weird. That's a little bit. I'm not that much of the character. I'm not cosplaying out here,
You're acting for a whole lot right now.
Yeah, acting for too much. Yeah, you know what? Also, like this month has been like a pretty fun month because I don't know if we talked about it in other podcasts, but New York City Comic Con this month, and that was a fun experience. So like get the vibe of experiencing that costume cosplay fantasy kind of vibe, and next week going to go to another costume, not really costume party, but more like a bar crawl where we go to different places where people are wearing costumes and stuff. Yeah, but like some of these parties that I was seeing advertised, yo man, I'm seeing the devil symbols. I'm seeing the 5-star trigram stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on those. I'm gonna hold off on those.
I like go get your whole like identity as a person.
yo. As for those of you guys that don't know, I'm a Christian, so I was like, you know what? I like fantasy. I like celebrate. I like having fun with Halloween, but is when you start seeing that 5-star and you see people hanging upside down, I'm like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't need to go to that. I don't need to celebrate that much.
Understandable. I'm dressed up in a Halloween gear as well. I remember when I was younger, I didn't always have the expenses or the budget for proper Halloween costumes. So I think when I was in middle school, I had on my school uniform, and there was a balloon in the hallway, and I picked it up, put it in my face, and I was a balloon man.
I thought you were gonna like say like you stretched out the balloon and put it over your head, and then I was like, I'm condom man.
No. I was young. I put it in my face, and I was Balloon Man, and we had a little catwalk in the hallway, and I walked my walk as Balloon Man. So I definitely want to wear this growing up where I'm from, this all red, all black outfit. I probably wouldn't have done that. But I'm of my apartment building, so I know that. And I have a couple Halloween themed parties I'm DJing. I DJed one last night. I'm DJing one next week. So I can dress up this up.
Yeah. So you didn't. So did you dress up for your when you're DJing or not? Are you planning on dressing up sometime?
Event with the robe on and this bandana. I'll be honest with you. I took the robe off, but so
yeah.
It's gonna be in the B-roll of the footage from yesterday. It's gonna be in the B-roll.
Okay. Yeah. So this month has been kind of busy for you when it comes to like just DJing different parties coming up.
Yes. This month, November is starting to fill up a little bit. But yeah. Yeah.
So when it came to like you making your like music and stuff, or like when you're like tweaking your playlist, how are you getting inside the do you like try to be like, okay, how do I make this match the Halloween vibes? How do I get inspired with the Halloween spirit? You know, like what do you do to get into your music, and like what do you watch or whatever in terms of adding to the Halloween vibes? Or do you just be like, nah, I'm just going to make you know, broken down kind of music, and like, you know, people figure out the Halloween vibes on their own?
Yeah, I was prior to this event yesterday. I was thinking like, yo, there aren't really that many Halloween songs. There's like, you know, the Thriller. Yeah. There's like, you know, Let's Do the Time Warp. There's a couple of songs like The Addams Family, but no one's trying to hear that at a party. You know what I'm saying? From a DJ perspective, there's definitely like DJ edits that will have like an EDM song and like the laugh from the Thriller music video right before the song drops. But I'm not that type of DJ typically, so I, you know, no. The Halloween theme, people just being dressed up.
Got you.
There was an outfit showcase yesterday, so we were playing different songs, and one of the themes, or one of the parts of the showcase was like scariest outfit.
Okay.
So I was able to play Thriller right there,
nice.
It made sense. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't random. But I definitely have been checking out like some like horror movies to see if there's anything like, you know, like Halloween, the movie Halloween, right?
Oh,
that's
like,
a very like sound.
Yeah. Halloween. Like, do you mean Halloween Town or just Halloween?
Halloween with Mike Myers. It turned out to be the instrumental for this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, but, you know, Halloween has a very, I don't know how it goes, but you can be hearing it.
You guys should be hearing it, guys. Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been watching some stuff like that, some scary movies and things like that. Try to get into the zone of, you know, Halloween.
Yeah, you know, it's like, it's interesting because I feel like as a kid growing up, like I think I told you off podcast that like there was a period in time when I was younger, like I think like between the age of like 10 to 12, like I couldn't go to sleep without watching some kind of horror movie. Like it was a weird time where before I go to bed, I think it was like when I first got my first iPod or whatever, I would just like go to bed, find some kind of horror movie to watch it. Most of the time it was like either zombie or vampire themed, and I would watch it and then I'll go to sleep. And I remember I remember this one time when I was like, I didn't realize I was sleep deprived, you know, like I was just constantly every day like just using up hours of my night just watching movies. Sometimes it'd be like 2 movies in one night, you know. And then I remember I was just sitting in the couch at my house and I was just chilling, and I just saw my shadow run from my body, and I was like, I'm gonna get some sleep. I don't know what's happening. I prayed about it real quick, and then I just went to sleep. I was like, you know what? That's a sign that my brain is not functioning optimally. But yeah, there was a time when I was just all about the horror movies. Now being more of an adult now, I think there's more realistic things that scare me more. Now I think, you know, like before it used to be like I would watch a vampire movie, zombie movie, and like, you know, like a ghost movie, like I'm good, like that would scare me. Now when I watch those things, I may get a jump scare, but I don't really feel fear. But like when things get more into that real life territory, where it starts to get into the more of this plausibly, it most likely won't happen, but it could happen, that's when I'm like, ooh, the anxiety, you know what I mean? The anxiety of it. So I don't know if that's the same case for you, or like it's just all horror movies, like, you know?
I think growing up, there's definitely some movies that really like scared me. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen Tales from the Crypt? It was Tales from the Crypt. That was actually a scary show. You know what I'm saying? But it was the movie with okay, I'm gonna describe the scene.
Okay. I might
there was a movie that had like 4 different like stories in the movie, right? each story was like in relation to like a black struggle and everything like that.
Okay.
And one of the main stories, there's like a white guy who bought a plantation house, and everyone's trying to tell him not to buy this plantation house, but he was like,
it sounds mad familiar. It sounds bad familiar.
He was aggressively racist. You know what I'm saying? He was
it's like, come on. You can buy any type of property you want. You decide to go for the plantation.
Yeah. He was like aggressively racist, and had Confederate flags here, there, and everything like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There was like a portrait of like a older black woman. She gave me like Harriet Tubman vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of like dolls in the portrait and everything like that. And then he had a doll and he like destroyed it. And they were like, this is a black guy said, don't do that. They're gonna curse you. Don't do that. And he's like, man, I don't care about these beep 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 beep. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively racist. And the doll came back to life. It was just like it just popped up back into the room, and he was like, I got rid of you. What are you doing back here? All some Chucky stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tiny doll, probably the size of a water bottle. I'm not sponsored. It's not the size of a water bottle. And it started moving. You know what I'm saying? It started moving its head.
Yeah. That's when you see. Here's the thing with black people, right? It's like when we see something that looks off, we don't stay in the area. Like we don't ask questions. We don't be like, oh my gosh, why did that door start creaking? We go the other way. Like we don't even ask questions.
Going the other way. If it was 3 a.m. and had someone knocking on my door, I might open at 7 a.m. After being knocking for a long time, get the tricep muscles up. It's 3 a.m. I can't help you.
Because I think like I have this theory that ghosts, they don't, ghosts, they low key ain't nothing, bro. Because they be waiting for you to turn around before they do something to you. You ever notice it's until you actually notice them, that's when they start attacking you. But if you notice them but you act like you don't notice them, they ain't gonna do nothing because they really out here thirsty to be like, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? So if you just be like chill, one moment they're gonna slip up and like move in front of you, and you're gonna be like not scared, and you're gonna be like, wait, why aren't you scared of me? And they're gonna be like, bro, you've been haunting me for the past 2 years. Like, it's really embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? Like I see you be trying to push that book off the shelf. I'm like, why did the book drop? I didn't even like go to pick it up. You know what I mean? Like I waited a whole week before I went to go pick it up.
That's why I picked it up. Yeah, I want no smoke with no type of ghost, phantom, no Danny phantom. I want no smoke. So those are Dam's words. I ain't got no smoke with no ghosts. No that.
Yeah, no smoke with no ghosts.
But yeah, the movie, well, that scene in the movie culminated with like a whole bunch of like 100 dolls that's chasing after this guy, and they like ate him.
Wow.
Like, very, yeah.
Yo.
I once saw that. I said, "Oh," and that stayed in my head until I recently rewatched the movie. I was like, "Oh, okay." The CGI wasn't hitting like, you know what I'm saying? But I can see why younger me was, a bit terrified about that.
Got you. So you rewatched it and you were like, "Oh, I see the strings." Like I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very low budget. It was a very low budget movie.
Yeah, that's true. Like I feel like if you get broken out of the immersion, it's kind of like, all right, I don't believe it. That's why movies like the more real life stuff, like the one that we're going to talk about in this video. That's why that scares me, because it's kind of like it doesn't matter like how old that movie came out in. It's just, unless the acting is garbage, unless like acting is like a barhead, like it's kind of like yo, this is plausible. This is plausible. You know what I mean? Do you want to get into it? Do you want to start talking about it?
Yeah. So, before coming up with this podcast, we were like, yo, what are some of the scariest movies we've seen? You know what I'm saying? Bam mentioned 28 Days Later. So check that out. I rewatched it. It had some nice scares and everything like that. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a nice little like zombie type movie. But I was like, Bam, recently I saw one of the scariest things I ever saw. Okay, that's a lot to say. That's a lot to say. That's a huge title. There's like, there's Dog Series, there's Freddy Krueger, there's Jason. What could be scarier than that?
Yeah, and let me preface this. This guy told me like, hey, listen, watch it, but don't look at any trailers. Don't look at any trailers for it. Just watch it. Don't just watch it. And I was like, all right, let's see what this guy's talking about, man.
The movie is called Knock Knock. I think 2015. I think it came out 2015 with Keanu Reeves and two women. And they're actually like the stars of the show, but I'm just blanking on their names. And Bam, do you want to discuss it? You've seen it more recently than I have.
Okay, guys. Let me take you guys on a journey. Right? Okay. So let's say for all my my male audience members watching this, imagine you are married for 15 years with your lovely, beautiful wife, and you have 2 kids, right? And let's say it's Father's Day, right? It's Father's Day. You know, your wife wakes you up and just starts making out with you, and you're like, oh boy, it's about to go down, you know? And preface this by saying you guys have been so busy with your lives with work and the kids that you guys haven't been able to let's get it down for about 3 to 4 weeks. So let's say give or take a month, right? And so you're like, it's Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? You feeling celebrated because you're the father, you're being a good dad for 2 kids, and you have your wife and she's getting intimate with you. You're like, it's about to go down. 3 to 4 weeks of this build up, it's about to go down. And then your kids start rushing and say like, Daddy, we made you a cake. First of all, that cake looked mad messy, right? So you're probably not going to eat it because your kids made it. They're like 12, 10. You don't trust what your kids just made. They could have put like any kind of garbarhe in there. You probably got high blood pressure because you're in your 40s now. You don't want to eat that cake. Right? So you're like, all right. So you're playing with your kids. You're like, you get the kids set out. You know, you let the kids get out of the room, and you're trying to start things back up with your wife. And your wife's like, no, the kids came in here, and like, you know, we got to start moving and get it ready. And then you're like, whoa, what you talking about? And then she looks like you're about to start an argument. And then you try to cool it down because you still don't want to ruin your chances for next time, right? And so that's how the movie starts. We starts off with, I think his name was Ellie? What's his name? Eli? No, not Eli. Keanu Reeves' character.
No, I ain't gonna. That's a simple king. Look at that.
What's he?
What's his name?
I think we could get into it, but it's like, was he simping?
No, that'd be disrespectful to call him a simp.
Okay, yeah.
I want to hear the rest of your story.
Yes. So anyway, so basically they already planned in advance that for Father's Day they were going to go to the beach and they're going to got this whole cabin and everything. It's going to be a nice experience, a whole weekend with the family. And then my man's an architect and gets called with some surprise work, and so he's not able to go, but they already got the tickets, the reservations, so the kids and the wife end up going, right? Now preface this, right? Based on the context of the family situation, it definitely does seem like love is present, right? The love between the wife and the husband are present. The love between the children and the parents is present. Like, it's strong. It just so happens that it does definitely look like a case of, yeah, we just been busy with our lives. That's why we haven't been able to get intimate in 3 to 4 weeks, right? But for all my men in the audience out here, for all my men listening to this right here, you already know what it's like if you haven't got to intimate within 3 to 4 weeks. You already know where your mind and your body is at, right? All right, so fast forward, we got my man working in his house late night, listen to his music, just trying to blast through this work and everything, in the zone, in the flow state. And then we hear knock knock, bro. We hear a knock knock, and granted, this is the first red flag. 1 a.m. If you have someone knocking at your door at 1 a.m., you don't open the door. There's nothing good about someone knocking on your door at 1 a.m. There's nothing good about it.
They got the wrong house. They got the wrong person. I didn't order any food. I'm asleep.
Unless you are throwing a party, no one should be knocking on your door at 1 a.m. Nobody, bro. Nobody. Whoever it is, they better come sometime early in the morning, like 9 a.m. maybe. No, 10:30 after I have my morning coffee. 10:30. That's when they should be knocking on my door. Anyways, so my man, he's like, all right, I'm curious. I'm curious. Like every stupid, dumbass horror movie protagonist, I'm curious, what does that sound? So he goes downstairs, opens his door, and he sees these two women. Right? Now, one can argue about like how beautiful these women are, but for a lot of people's standards, we can say that they are very good-looking, beautiful girls, right? And it's raining outside, and they're like, yo, sir, we've been like, is this the address for the party? And he's like, there's no party here, like, as you can see. And they're like, dang, did we get the wrong address? And blah, 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 right? So it basically sums it up to, like, these girls are looking for a party, they found the wrong address, now they're out in the rain, and supposedly their phone is dead, and they don't have any other. Both phones are dead. Both of their phones are dead. They don't have any other.
One phone was dead and one was left home by accident. That should be a red flag right there.
That's which first off, these girls are looking like they're in their early 20s or high teens, right? What early 20s or high teens person is leaving their phone at home? Yeah. Like the amount of times that like we are so addicted to our technology that like every 5 minutes we're like,
no, yeah.
So like, I know she had to have that. Oh my gosh, and go back for her phone. Like that's crazy, right?
Sorry for interjection, but that was. I said, wait a minute. She chewed out her phone.
That was the first red flag for you. Yeah. So, anyways, they come in. He's like, all right, it's raining outside. All right, let me get you guys a tablet so you guys can check out information and stuff and look up your place and whatever. Come in. So here's the second red flag, yo. So Dr. Griffs.
Yes.
If you are outside in the rain, right, and and you knock on someone's door for help, right?
Yes.
And they invite you in.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, you walk into the front part of the house inside by the door. And they're like, all right, hold up, I'll be right back. Gonna get you a phone, and I'm gonna get you a towel so you can dry off. Are you going to, once they go down the hall, are you going to start walking around the person's house?
So, first off, I'm not going inside anybody's house just because of some rain. Okay, but if I am in this situation, yes, I probably will stand exactly there. Two, I'm not about to walk in somebody's house. First, that's threatening to them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know how I look. I know how I could be received. So I'm not gonna be, know what I'm saying? And second of all, I'm not gonna get further away from the exit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know this location.
Like you don't even know if that person you knocked on the door is. You don't know his intentions. You don't know like if they're about to come through with a back with a gun and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to take a seat." Like you don't know what they're gonna do. So why are you like? Nah. So, red flag. They start walking around this place and they start going through his records and like, "Oh, this looks cool. Oh, this is your family. This is cool." And he's just walking over there, bringing them the towels and bringing them the tablet. Like, you could tell his gears were working. Like, why did these girls just leave the front porch and just move into my living room, touching all my stuff?
They acting real comfortable right now.
Like, I don't even know their names. The second, like, and guys, this was the most craziest thing to me. I was like, you got to get him out of your house right now. You got to get him out of your house. When they were like, can we ask you a favor? Like our clothes is all wet and everything and damp. Is it possible? Can we just put our clothes in your dryer? Like, why the heck are you going to take off your clothes in a random stranger's house?
A random man's house.
In a man's house. So anyways, guys. So my man, with all the hesitancy in the world, but he wants to be a gentleman. He wants to be a helpful, good person. He's like Sure. So like he brings bathrobes that they could put on and stuff, and he puts their clothes in the dryer or whatever. And then they just start seducing him, They start throwing mad subliminals about ooh, how like I can't believe, like I can't wait to have threesomes with the person I'm with. Ooh, like you don't feel like, oh, your arms feel like all nice and strong. You don't feel like you're 40. Ooh, like one thing that I thought was like a super low blow when they when she brought up the idea of like the starfish. Do you remember that? So she basically was like talking about like how one of the girls talking about like how she had sex with like supermodels before, and how she would prefer to be with a more mature, experienced man than a young beautiful guy, right? And then she started talking about like how like like I can't believe people will like spend years of their life with a person that's just a starfish. And he's like, a starfish? What do you mean by that? Like one of those girls that just lie in the bed like this and just do nothing while the guy just like does his thing. And my man, you could tell by his looks and like
he was at my whole wife.
Yeah, he's like, yo, why are you talking about my whole experience like that? And but yo, it's just like, if you watch the movie, guys, you see how especially for the first 30 minutes of the movie, you see how much mental effort he puts into avoiding any sexual stuff with these women. He keeps moving away from these women, going to a different chair, like to an uncomfortable level. He calls an Uber. He keeps checking the time for when the Uber's gonna come and everything. So like, for the average dude looking at the first 30 minutes of this, you're gonna be like,
he did everything he could. Like with the cards handed to him.
Yes,
he did everything right. He messed up. He messed up by letting him in the house, opening the door. But even amongst all of that, he did everything right.
Yes.
Up until a pivotal moment.
Yes, and I feel like the lesson I kind of learned, from that is, it's good to be a helpful person, but when someone's knocking on your door at 1 a.m. like, if someone's walking on your door at 1 a.m., look to the peephole, see who it is, and I would call 911, to be honest with you.
I can only help people from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Anything after that,
that's my good guy zone. If the daylight is out, I got you. But if it's like 1 a.m., let's say 1 a.m. to 6 a.m., I'm asleep.
With the overtime hours, I can't. I only extend that for my family. That's it. Family and friends.
Yo,
friends up to like 10 p.m.
you gotta be my main contact list, bro. You gotta be on my main contact list. Do not.
Yikes! I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Feel like,
so,
yeah.
After the 30-minute mark, he falls victim to temptation. And in the worst way. Like, there's nothing he could do at this point in his life. There's nothing he could do. The Uber was outside the door. For some reason, they wanted to shower real quick. That should have been an extremely big red flag. And I think they both were showering at the same time. I
think one person said, "Oh, can I just use the bathroom?" One of the girls said, "I can use the bathroom," and then the other girl says, "I'm going to check on her friend in the bathroom." So it's like,
okay, but he tried to walk into the bathroom. He's like, "Hey, your Uber's outside. Your clothes finished drying. Hey, can y'all hear me? The clothes finished drying. The Uber's outside. I'm just gonna come inside the room right now." The Uber's outside. Opens the door. Try to put the clothes in there, and then they got him. They got him.
They really.
If you watch, what we're talking about. We're trying to keep it PG out here.
Yeah.
So that was the turning point in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It was a good 4-minute scene of what exactly they did to him. What he did to him. And then the next half, the next 2/3 of the movie, things go horribly left.
Yes,
and
horribly.
I don't want to spoil too much, but once I watched that movie when I was a couple months ago, I was like, yo, this is probably one of the scariest situations a man can be in. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you're a loyal guy. Like, if you're a guy that's like, yo, like, I know in my heart of hearts, I love my wife, I love my family. I don't want, like, because I think every guy gets it. You know what I mean? Like, once you bring up the idea of, like, it'll be a different story if he did the thing with his wife on that morning. Then it's like, there's no excuse. It's like, bro, you're the pressure valve is released. Like, you should be in your right mind right now. Like, no. But oh man, it was just like,
as he said, it was free pizza. It was free pizza.
Yeah. That whole screaming thing in the chair, I was like, you're not talking like a main character right now, man. You're talking like a side character that was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like,
realistically, he was talking realistically. Everything he said, I thought, yo, he got a point. I felt bad for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I felt bad. Like, usually when I
felt bad. I felt bad for him, but I also was like, I felt bad for him. I understood how it went down. And also, just like, yeah, I can see why you feel like, why you're like, you're in the mind frame of, like, you understand why you said that. I just felt like he lost a sense of like, he wasn't playing the game in a way that I felt like would be most beneficial to him escaping, right? So I feel like when he did that, is like, it doesn't matter if what you're saying sounds true, and like most guys watching the movie will be like, true, facts, that does feel like free pizza and you haven't eaten in 3 weeks, facts. But it's like, for the people that you're screaming to, is like, is that really going to help you to like convince them that you are a good person that cares about your family? You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he definitely wasn't John Wick in this movie.
Yo, I was like, John Wick would not be in a situation, and they took his dog too. Nah, John Wick would not have allowed that to happen, yo. It would not allow that.
That was probably one of the scary movies I've seen recently. Like, growing up, there's different types of scary. You know what I'm saying? There's like, you know, the slasher film scary, the, you know, mask on, dun. Like, don't say there's that type of scary, the jump scares. But I feel like, to me, some of the things that scared me the most was like a Boys in the Hood, like watching that, or like a 12 Years a Slave. Like, these movies like this, kind of just like, yo, because I guess because of how realistic it is and how based on reality these situations are, and like how I look like or could be the main characters in these films. Yeah, it really sits with you different. Like, I'm never going to be walking through the woods at 3 a.m. with a group of white people. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know, Oh no, finish your thought.
No, I feel like, if I'm ever in a situation, it's 3 a.m., I'm the only black guy, there's like 4, 5, 6, you know, white people, there's like 2 girls. I was like, wait a minute.
If you're like, I see some red hats.
I've seen this before. I hear a creak. Hey, we should go check this out. I said, who we?
Checking what out? Why do we need to check things out? Can we go to Chick-fil-A instead? Like, why do we have to go? I don't understand.
I don't see a rational mind, Dr. Griffs, falling for a situation like that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen too many movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, honestly, yo. Me and my girl were like walking through Central Park, right? And we were coming off of a date. We got some food and everything, and we're walking to Central Park, you know, make it out and stuff. And then we see this. It's nighttime, right? And we see this really dark tunnel, right? And I'm kind of a goofball with it. I'm kind of like, yo, let's go into the tunnel and everything. And she's like, yo, that looks kind of scary though. It's like, I don't know. And you know what I thought in that moment? I thought, yo, this is exactly how most horror movies start, where a couple is just joking around, getting all like horny and stuff, and they're like, yo, let's just go in here, it's cool, right? And then the slasher comes through, and so I was like, all right, let's just walk around, yo. Let's go to where the lights are at. Like,
you got in that moment. Yo,
I was like, My life is more important. Yeah, but yeah, with horror movies, man, I feel like, because I think when I was younger, I think why horror movies used to hit harder than they do now, and why more real life stuff kind of hits harder now. I think when you're younger, there's a certain level of your belief in the impossible is a lot greater, right? And so it's like, as you get older, you know, life proves to you more and more what's really possible and what's not possible. And so when I watch a horror movie now, when I watch something like The Escape Room, or when I watch something like even with Squid Games, kind of, right, is like, you see things that are like super outlandish, that you're kind of like, a vampire's not going to run up on me in Times Square at 2 a.m. probably, right? It's like, you know, it's more possibly that someone under the influence might run up on me at 2 a.m. on Times Square, right? So it's like, it just reframes what you actually think is scary, because before, when you're younger, you had a whole mountain worth of possibility. Like, it's vampire, like when you're like 10 years old, maybe vampires are real, you know? Maybe that creaking sound that's coming from your door is a ghost trying to walk into your room, just trying to say what's up, you know?
There was a show called, it wasn't Ripley's Believe It or Not, it was like True or False. Like, they would show you like 3 videos, right? Mm-hmm. 3 storylines, and one of them would be false. I mean, one of them would be real, the other 2 would be like fact, or like the other 2 would be fiction, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So there was this episode where there was some guy in a hospital, and he was like anemic or something. He was like bugging out, he looked really like cold and everything like that, and then the nurse walks by the room again. He done hopped on her, bit her lungs out, and was like...
Bit her lungs out? What the heck?
Hey, I ain't taking an anatomy class recently. I said he bit her lungs out. I said, he
bit her throat, bro.
He bit her lungs out, and then he ran up through the window and looked back at the camera and just kept running. I was like, what? And then they said, this is a true story. I said, huh? So I'm out here, I'm like, yo, I hope no, like, know what I'm saying? I was like all 7, 4, 5, I don't know. And I saw someone bite someone's lungs out, jump out the window, and they said it's a true story, and he could still be out there. Man,
son,
that scarred me. I'm like, oh crap, vampires are real.
My man, that's crazy, yo. That's crazy. But I feel like the foundation of horror is kind of like monsters. You know, in a weird way, monsters aren't really scary. I think humans that become monsters are scary.
Enlighten me, what you mean?
Okay. A werewolf is scary until you understand a werewolf's behavior patterns and where they hunt and what they do and like the different elements about them, right? Like, if you're prepared, like say for example, you know you're about to get attacked by a werewolf within like 2 weeks, so you do your research. You're like, oh, werewolves are poisoned by silver. They don't like silver. I'm gonna just wear silver all over my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go into areas where they're usually at. I'm going to set up my environment that doesn't work well with their body. It's like hunting an animal, right? And so although animals are scary, if you're prepared for an animal, it's not that scary, right? Humans, on the other hand, right? Like a vampire, right? Or like a person that is like, that's deranged. It's like they're so adaptable. It's so hard to prepare for another human, because it's like, if they have enough of an intellect to be like, it doesn't matter which preparations you have, they might be smart enough to overcome any of your preparation. Like, I'm more scared of a human that decided to be a cannibal than a vampire. Does it make sense? Because like, if you understand what the vampire is like, if you understand like, oh, you know, it's like, daytime vampires got nothing on me. But a human cannibal is like,
They off.
Yeah,
They're off.
they're off, but they can actually act like they're not off. That's the scary part of it. You know, it's like you could be like the person could literally be sitting right next to you, and it's like this guy smells like a good meal. But a vampire, they're gonna be like, you know, it's like you're just more. It's like although the vampire is scary, don't get me wrong. It's just like once you know it's a vampire, once you know their combos and their weaknesses and pros and stuff, it's like you could be prepared for it. But another human being is like we're just way too adaptable. We're just so adaptable. You know what I mean?
Fair. When you were talking, I did remember a movie that really scared / traumatized me for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Final Destination, the series.
Oh man.
Final Destination 2, I think. When the guy threw Chinese food outside his window, and a fire breaks out in his window. I mean, in his apartment, and he survives all that. He survived. It was a crazy scene. He survived spoiler alert. He survived the fire in the apartment, knives flying around. He survived all of that. Takes the fire escape, and he slips on the Chinese food. This is how he survives. Then the fire escape just falls all the way down and kills him.
The angel of death was like, yo, guys. He's talking to other angels like, yo. Check out what I prepared real quick. Check this out.
When I tell you, like, there's so many fire escapes on my block growing up. When I tell you, I did not walk under any of them for months.
Yeah.
Final Destination, I'm looking at everything funny. There's like an elevator one. I was like, nah, I'm taking the stairs.
Yeah, Final Destination was like, because those were one of the movies I was just like, I would marathon through while I was sleeping, or while I was supposed to be sleeping. And
okay.
And I'm like,
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
No, honestly, I look back on it, I was like, I don't know. You know, there's this, you know what, because my girl doesn't understand why I even watch horror movies. Like, she has a super strong aversion to horror movies. She just doesn't get it. She likes comedy, action, romance, you know, fantasy, sci-fi, but nothing that's like just meant to like scare you, right? She doesn't get why people want to get scared, right? And for me, you know, in a weird way, it made me feel more confident and safe in real life. Because I would see all these things that were just like crazy, right? And then I'll walk around in life being like, oh, life is not as crazy as that. So I'm like, if I can just watch these and be like, it wasn't even a thing of like, if I could watch these, I'll be good for life. It was more like, it almost felt like because I watched those things, when I would deal with people, deal with bullies, when I would like deal with people that were like out here attacking people on the street, it was just like, well, you ain't a werewolf. You know what I mean? It's like, you ain't impossible for me to overcome. Like, if you are trapped in a room with a vampire and you're not prepared, are you walking out?
Probably not.
Yeah, but if another human being walks up to you, at least this is how it worked in my head. If another human walks up to you and has a problem with you and is trying to fight you and everything, you're like, all right, well, you're probably not way stronger than me like a vampire would be. You're not going to like drain my blood, and most likely your intention is not to kill me, right? So it's kind of like there's a lot of factors that made me mentally think like, oh, I'm not as scared as you as I would be of this, you know. So that was my thing I kind of gained from watching horror movies. I felt like honestly, like life felt way less scary because I had that in my head saying, well, at least it's not this.
I wonder if that's a healthy coping mechanism or if you need therapy. I don't know.
You know, honestly, you know, more black men should get therapy. You know, I'm not opposed to it. You know, it's working right now, but I'm not opposed to it.
Your logic makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
I wonder. I'm saddened that you had to come to that conclusion.
No, it wasn't even like a conscious thing that I was doing. It was more like just watch these movies, would wake up in the morning, go through life, and life just felt... I'm running from these people in the halls that are trying to bully me, but at least I'm not running away from zombies from 28 Days. You know what I mean? Like, you know? So I was like, it's different. It was just like a mental thing. It made me think like, oh, life is just easier. It could be way harder. You know? It could be way harder. But that's why movies like Knock Knock and like more real life style movies just kind of mess me up, because that's like you're taking it to the realm of life where it's like it's plausible now, right? It's plausible. You know,
get out.
But yeah, the lesson from Knock, I want to reiterate this to you guys, and honestly, I don't even recommend you guys watch that movie, bro. I don't even recommend you guys watch the movie. It's one of those movies that Dr. Griffs was right. Definitely the most scariest movie I've watched. But it's a movie that it's a level of fear that's not even enjoyable. It's like you're not gonna walk around like, oh, my blood is pumping, I'm feeling good, I had some excitement. No. You're gonna walk around like, damn, I really can't trust people on the street, man. Like, damn, I really thought I was gonna be a good person, but there's really people out here existing trying to just destroy my life, yo. Just trying to, and they were like saying like, oh, you're such a bad person, you don't care about your family and everything. It's like, I feel like an average girl would be like, after the guy gets up 2 times, they would stop pushing.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he did more than the bare minimum that a loyal guy is supposed to do, and most girls would be like, all right, I'm gonna back off. Would you agree with that, or am I wilding?
Oh no. I think that unless you're like a celebrity, and you know,
yeah,
they're like actively throwing stuff at you on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think most people who are conscious will be like, oh, I think he's not interested. But could you imagine if Knock Knock starred a woman alone in the house at 1 a.m. and 2 like teen college men, I guess, knock on her door.
I can't imagine even that, especially nowadays. I can't even imagine that movie being like,
it's not happening. It's Mother's Day and it's been 4 weeks for her. It's the exact opposite.
I don't think it would work, yo. I for any female viewers we have watching this clip or this full podcast episode, would that be? I guess like the idea of like 2, like say for example, like because in this situation, like the woman would be, I guess, in like her 40s, and then you have like the early 20s or like high teens guys walking up to the door, making her feel like she's a woman, like she's a diamond, and like, you know, maybe revitalizing like her self-esteem and stuff, right? Would the situation we just described in this video, would that be a terrifying proposition for you? Because it's like the main terrifying part of the movie was the fact that the girls were using the fact that they caught him cheating as a means to destroy his life. And they also lied about their age, saying that they're way younger, like saying they're 15 or something. That was also another factor, which is like, always ask a girl's age, guys. Always ask anybody's age, man. Do not walk around just be like, oh yeah, no way. There's like, no, she looks old enough. Don't go by looks. Ask the question, man. Ask the question.
To his defense, you know, even if he did ask, I think he did. I think they definitely implied their age. They just lie about it. You know what I'm saying? So he was out of luck. He was really out of luck, and that's just he was grossly out of luck.
Yeah, the best thing he could have done was not opening that door. Yeah, I really think, because I was like, who directed this movie? Who thought this was like, yo guys, this is gonna be a box office hit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think he just wanted to do something silly. Well,
you think it's silly?
It's a flex to make a whole movie just because you're going to do something silly.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flex. Imagine saying, "Yo, I got a couple million to spare. Let me just
pop this movie.
Let me make a BS movie real quick." Imagine that.
Yeah.
I'm not like that one day.
Yeah, maybe. You know, but that was it.
But you know, I said it is about that time.
Yes, sir.
You know, our Halloween themed episode. Let us know what scares you. What movie or show or game media that scares you. Anything you've seen recently that scared you?
Yeah. Quick question. Do you feel like horror games is more terrifying than horror movies?
I do think the most recent horror game I played, if you want to call it that, is probably The Last of Us 2. And there were some genuinely scary moments in that game, this anticipation of, is there something around the corner? What is that sound? Yeah, I gotta fight that thing, or how do I have? Will I survive this? Or you just trying to creep through without being seen. I think games might do a better job at scaring you because you're in control of the character. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You can't separate.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And imagine when things get VR gets really good and you actually putting on these headsets and the feedback vest and everything like that, the surround sound headphones. Yeah, that's there's a whole Black Mirror episode about that. You know what I'm saying? You see the Black Mirror episode?
There's a lot of Black Mirror episodes about the VR, going into a VR state.
Nah, this specific one was about the scariest video game ever created.
Really? And did I watch it?
The guy, he signs up to go do that video game, and it is a VR headset, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I might go watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, that episode. It gives you some Itachi vibes. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But once you watch the episode, you know why I said that. Okay. But if things end up like Black Mirror, it's over. It's over.
Scary times, man. Scary times. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. We really appreciate you guys. Let us know in the comment section down below what you guys thought about. What is your favorite horror movies that you guys watched during this time? What are the things that terrify you, and maybe the reasons why you terrify you and stuff. So anyway, guys, happy Halloween. You know what I'm saying? Have a festive time. Be safe out here. You know what I mean? Don't be talking to strangers just because they're wearing some weird masks and stuff. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you guys watching. Like the video if you liked it. Comment if you have any thoughts that you want to share with us, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more. So yeah, peace.
Watch Knock Knock.